Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Jayo Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hare, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura 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 Hare, Patita Pavan Gaura Hare, Gaura 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 Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Dev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari निताय गौर प्रमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की। कृष्ण निताय गौरांग भगवान की। शीला प्रभुपाद की। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 7, Text 10. Chapter's name is Lord Krishna Instructs Uddhava. So 10th verse we are going to recite. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Saririna Atmano Bhavatushtatma Nantarayer Vihanyase. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Saririna Atmano Bhavatushtatma Nantarayer Vihanyase. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Saririna Atmano Bhavatushtatma Nantarayer Vihanyase. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atmana Bhavatushtatma Nantarayer Vihanyate. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Saririnam Atma Bhuta Nantarayer Vihanyase. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Saririnam Atmano Bhavatushtatma. Mataji's please. Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Saririnam Atmana Bhavatushtatma Nantaraye. Word to word meaning, translation, purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada disciples ki. Word to word meaning first. Gyan, with conclusive knowledge of the Vedas. Vigyan, and practical realization of the purpose of knowledge. Samyukta, fully endowed. Atma Bhuta, an object of affection. Sariri Nam, for all embodied beings, beginning with the great demigods. Atma Anubhav, by direct perception of the soul. Tushta Atma, having a satisfied mind. Na, never. Antaraye, by disturbances. Vihanyasi, you will be checked in your progress. Translation. Being fully endowed with conclusive knowledge of the Vedas and having realized the ultimate purpose of such knowledge in practice, you will be able to perceive the pure self, and thus your mind will be satisfied. At that time, you will become dear to all living beings, headed by the demigods, and you will never be hampered by any disturbance in life. Purport. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, one whose mind is free from material desires becomes disinterested in demigod worship, since the purpose of such worship is material amelioration. The demigods, however, are never displeased with one who becomes a pure devotee of Lord Krishna and offers all of his worship to the Lord. The demigods themselves are humble servants of Lord Krishna, as was amply demonstrated in Lord Krishna's pastimes on the earth. One who can experience the eternal soul within everyone's body certainly becomes dear to all living beings, since he sees everyone as qualitatively equal to himself. He does not envy anyone nor try to lord it over any other living being. Being free from envy and a well-wisher of all, such a self-realized soul is naturally dear to everyone, as stated in the song to the sixth Goswami, Dhira Dhira Jan Priyo Priyo Karo Nirmat Saro Pujito. Hare Krishna. Let's chant the prayers together. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamascha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaura Tuse Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramarthmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagarnathaya Te Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuva Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings at the lotus feet of all the devotees so that I can say something for the glorification of the Lord and for my personal purification. Hare Krishna. English is fine, no? So devotees have been very nicely discussing this specific chapter. So in Gita, Krishna instructs Arjun, and here Uddhav Gita, Krishna is instructing Uddhav. And through Uddhav's mercy, Krishna's mercy, we are also getting many important lessons. If we apply it in our life, as we read in this specific translation, our life will be completely transformed. So if we reflect on the translation of this verse, so in this translation, there are 6 important things. So we'll try to discuss in detail each of the point, whatever time permits. So the first point in this translation is, first statement mentioned is that fully endowed with the knowledge of the Vedas. So it is not the knowledge of the Vedas, fully endowed with the conclusive knowledge of the Vedas. So that is mentioned. Second point is that after knowing this Vedic knowledge, Vedas, so one will realize the ultimate purpose of the Vedic knowledge by practical implementation. Through practice one understands. Third is that, so once a person will understand the conclusive knowledge of Vedas, practically apply it, then third, what will happen? So person will be able to perceive his pure self, that who he is able to understand. That is third step. Fourth is that once a person like us, once we understand who we are, then first what will happen? Our most important thing of our physical body, our mind will get completely satisfied. And once a person's mind gets satisfied, that person becomes very, very dear to all the living entities, not just on this earthly planet, but even to the great demigods. And the last point in this translation is mentioned is that once a person achieves all these things, so he will never be under any miserable circumstances or situation. He will never face any kind of disturbance, any kind of suffering. So these are the 6 important points which is mentioned in this translation. Try to discuss each point in detail. The first is that being fully endowed with conclusive knowledge of the Vedas. So here the important word here is conclusive, because Vedas, as we know, Vedas is too big. It is voluminous, very, very huge. Like if we start referring Vedas, so we know specifically that 4 Vedas are there. Rig Veda is there, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, Thar Veda is there. So that we know Ved. So now each of the Vedas have different branches. So now all the knowledge, all the Vedas, all the verses are not available. So whatever some places different, regarding branches, some differences are mentioned somewhere. But like Rig Veda, it is mentioned that it has 9, Rig Veda has 21 branches. Then Yajur Veda has 109 branches. Then this Sam Veda has 1000 branches. And Atharva Veda, some place I read 50, somewhere it is mentioned 9, means more than dozen branches it has. These are the 4 Vedas, have different branches. And in total, all these 4 Vedas has 1 lakh verses in total. So all the verses are not available. So as of now, it is said that around 24,000 verses are, which is right now available. So precisely one place it is mentioned, it is 20,379 verses. Some place it is mentioned. Around 20,000 verses right now available with us. So this is the length of 4 Vedas. So it's not just the Vedas. After Vedas, what comes? We have Puranas. So 18 Puranas are there. So we have our famous Bhagavat Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, which we read daily. That has 18,000 verses. But the Skand Purana has highest number of verses. That has 81,000 verses. So total 18 Puranas. So total it comprises of around 4 lakh verses. So 4 Vedas have 1 lakh verses. Then 18 Puranas has 4 lakh verses. Then we have other books like Mahabharata, which is the world's largest epic. That has how many verses? 1 lakh verses. Then we have Ramayana. Then Ramayana has how many verses? It has 24,000 verses. Not 100 or 24. Everything is being talked in 1000 here. 24,000 verses. And then the story does not end. We have Upanishad is also there. Upavedas are there. Vedangas are also there. Aranyakas are also there. So these are like different knowledges, or you can books which are available with us. Now to read all these things is almost practically impossible. Like at least I experienced in my life that if I read Bhagavatam, it is impossible to complete. Like if I read 1 canto, I forget the previous canto. 7th पढ़ते हैं 4th भूल जाते हैं, 9th पढ़ते हैं 6th भूल जाते हैं. So again we have to go back, see what was mentioned there. So that will happen. So what will happen if we start reading each Veda, each of the Veda, for Rig Veda se start kiye subah se, what will happen to us? Very difficult. So that is why what happens, that is why because of mercy of Ved Vyas, we have got this conclusive knowledge of the Vedas. So when Ved Vyas, he wrote everything. He had not written Srimad Bhagavatam that time. He gave Vedanta also, everything. So everything he wrote. Mahabharata also wrote everything he wrote. But after writing, what happened? He was upset. And when his spiritual master Narad Muni came, he was also upset. So both the disciple and Guru was upset. Because what Ved Vyas had done, he had spoken many things. And he has spoken in such a way that he had not given the complete understanding. Complete in the sense, the conclusive understanding he had not given. So there was a great possibility that people will get misled. For example, in our life also, suppose that we go somewhere to give a seminar on art of mind control. We speak everything that if you control your mind, you will get good marks on examination. If you are a businessman, you will attain like your business will grow in a very big way. Like you will attain all the success in your life. So you have to just control your mind. You have to focus on mind on certain objects. You have to do this. You have to do that. But we do not say about chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So after we complete our seminar, what will happen? We will be frustrated. And when some senior devotees will come to know that this is what we have given, so they will also be frustrated. So both of us will be frustrated. So this is what happened to Ved Vyasji, that he completely got frustrated that after writing all those things. Because our purpose of art of mind control is not to speak in such a way that people control their mind so that they can do more and more sense gratification. Because generally people do give this seminar outside world other than ISKCON. The purpose is that because people can control their mind so that they can enjoy more in this material world. And they have different means, like many so-called famous speaker will speak many things in a different way, something very laughable also. Like one place I heard very famous person. So he was saying that how he controls his mind. So he talks about concentration. He says that early in the morning, he once went to a park and there he was sitting on the bench and on the tree he saw a crow. So it was time for him to meditation. So he thought that let me now meditate on the crow. So crow was on the branch and he was started looking at the crow for many minutes. And he was completely focusing his mind on the crow. And the crow might also be confused that what is this person is doing. So, and he said that is my meditation. So like Prabhupada asked us to become Krishna consciousness. So he became Kaua consciousness. He will focus on this Kaua. So this is how people will do in this material world. So so Ved Vyas understood that what he has done, Narad Muni also then told him that what he has done, that is something people will completely get misled, confused, bewildered, and they will not understand what is the real purpose of life, real purpose of human life. So then Ved Vyas, for our sake, he compiled this wonderful book, which by Prabhupada's mercy we are daily reading, Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in Bhagavatam, the verse what we recite generally when we start reading Bhagavatam is that Nast Prayesu Abhadreshu. So everything, Abhadreshu means whatever inauspicious there, bad thing is that becomes nil, that becomes completely zero. So Nast Prayesu Abhadreshu, so how it becomes? Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. So every day we do Seva of Bhagavatam. And what Seva we do? We hear this Bhagavatam. So if you are doing that, everything which is inauspicious in our life completely gets destroyed. And the last two line is very nicely mentioned. It is mentioned in Bhagavati Uttame Sloke, Bhaktir Bhavtir. The last word is Nastiki. So Nastiki means something which is irrevocable, that cannot be undone. Once it is done, it cannot be undone. So once the love of Krishna, love of Supreme Lord manifests in our heart, so it cannot be replaced. So that is the wonderful thing what happens when we start reading, start understanding Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita also, if you read, so there also what Krishna is mentioning, the conclusion is that when we talk about all the Vedas, so he said that Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sanavishtu Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha and Vedesya Sarver Aham Vedyo Vedanta Krit. So I am the compiler of the Veda, Vedanta Krit Vedvid Eva Chaham. That I am the compiler of the Veda, I know the Veda, and the purpose of the Vedic knowledge is that we should know Krishna. That is the ultimate purpose, ultimate goal of all the Vedic knowledge. That is the conclusion of all the Vedic understanding, that we have to know who is Lord Krishna. So whatever, like Krishna said that, that Sarvasya Chaham, he is residing in everyone's heart, and whatever remembrance is there. So anything, like if we have to remember Krishna, it is very easy. Anything which we remember, so we should thank Krishna, because that remembrance is coming because of mercy of Krishna. And if we forget also anything, then we should thank Krishna, because that forgetfulness also coming because of mercy of Krishna only. So everything is only happening because we have the mercy of Krishna, and it is Krishna's mercy because of which everything, non-living being, living being, everything, whatever we are experiencing, that is by Krishna's mercy only. So this conclusive understanding we have got because of mercy of Ved Vyas, and because of Prabhupada also. Prabhupada has made all these books so accessible, like this book distribution month is going on. So because of Prabhupada's book only, we have been able to understand that what the purpose of life is there, what is the goal of life. Because in Vedas, we will get completely misled. And not just that, even though we have this conclusive understanding in the form of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, but there are people, so they will call themselves spiritualist. So they will be wearing like a spiritual dress, spiritual uniform, and they will do things which is not authorized by the scriptures. So recently there was one video, it was quite, you can say, widely shared, very famous. So I will not tell the name, but everyone can understand whose video was that. So there are some so-called spiritualists, they were wearing saffron clothes, 7 head, everything, and they were having mutton and fish party. They were nicely enjoying, some fish was there, mutton was, they were enjoying. And they are like calling themselves like they are great spiritualists. So many people were questioning that you call yourself a spiritualist, then how can you indulge in this kind of activities? So they were justifying, they were saying that food habit and spirituality, they are not together. Both are like different things. Food habit is our personal choice. Whatever is required, we can eat, but spirituality is something different. But in Gita, in the 17th chapter, the division of faith, we see that Krishna very elaborately talks about the food habits in goodness, in passion, in ignorance, what kind of food we should be eating, what kind of food we should not be eating. So all these things Krishna talks about. So if anyone understands Gita properly, they can immediately understand that all this kind of like food is a very important aspect of life. So one cannot have that kind of like mindset, then I can eat anything. Because when a person becomes a devotee of the Lord, so first and most important thing, his heart becomes full of compassion. And that we see in the story of Brigrari. That Migrari was a cruel hunter, but as soon as he got the knowledge from Narad Muni, his spiritual master, he gave up everything. And not just that, when Narad Muni with his friend Angira Muni went to meet him, so he had developed such a great compassion, his heart had become so soft that he was not even ready to harm a small ant also. That is how he was walking on the street. So that kind of compassion and love a person develops for other living beings. So a person has such kind of heart, then how can they harm other living being or kill other living being and enjoy that living being's flesh? It is very easily understandable. That is said in Bhagavad Gita that Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita will always see that Krishna is there, Supreme Lord is there within the core of the heart of each and every living entity, not just human being, even plant, animal, every living entity. So they have Krishna, Paramatma is residing in their heart. And when we are like, in case of Migrari also we see that as soon as he took shelter of the holy name, took shelter of Narad Muni, so he had initially that fear that what will happen to my livelihood, I am a hunter by profession, what will happen to me? So Narad Muni immediately told him that you don't have to worry, everything will be arranged for you. And daily he was there with his wife, living, and he never had any scarcity of food. And forget about scarcity, he used to have plenty and plenty of food and other necessities. So when Narad Muni, later on when he comes to meet him, so at that time Narad Muni asked him that, do you need anything? Then he is complaining that we are just husband and wife here. So just 2 persons are there, but you are sending us too many like food stuff you are sending, that more than a dozen people, 15, 16 people can eat. And we do not need that many things. So you just send us only which is required for 2 of us. And because he was saying that what am I going to do with all this kind of food stuff? So he was begging Narad Muni that you reduce the supply of food and other necessities. So that is the consciousness of a devotee. So we never see that any of us, I can tell for myself, going in front of Nitai Gauranga and praying that you give something, like you have given me so much money, you reduce money. Like any employee going to employer saying that you are giving me too much salary, thoda kam kar do is wala annual appraisal mein, hamara bahut se paisa mil raha hai hame. But here, because this Migrari, he became a devotee and did not need anything. He was chanting, he was completely satisfied. He did not want anything. So that is why when we take shelter of Krishna, take shelter of Nitai Gauranga, then nothing is, which is like there is no deficiency, no scarcity is there in our life. And when we talk about this, some people who are addicted, Nitai Gaurang Bhagwan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So especially we see in Bengal, people are fond of fish. So many people do not consider fish as non-veg. Sometimes you tell to people that we are vegetarian, they said that no, it is fish, so they do not have to worry. So because they consider fish as a vegetarian food, so they will consider fish something like fruit of the water. That is what they think. So people have this kind of consciousness. So and many people will argue also that what about plant and animals? They also have life. So once in one lecture, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was very beautifully explaining. He was saying that killing plant and animal, or sorry, not killing animal and taking or like food which we take from this plant product, it is not equally, not the same. He said that like just like we trim our nails or cut our hair. Similarly, when we use plant product, like when we eat mangoes, it's not that we cut the mango tree, we just pluck the mango fruit. Similarly, like if we drink milk, then it's not that we are harming cow. We are using the product of the cow. We are taking the milk of the cow. So like right now it is winter season. So people take wool from sheep. So it is like lots of wool is there on sheep's body. Sometimes there are stories also like in the sheep. So if the wool is not cut, it's like sheep will become very heavy. Too much like what is called feather or I don't know what the language called. So it will grow. So there was one example, a sheep become very, very heavy. That like so many tons of like this feather was there on its body. That is how like Lord has created. Like all these things are created so that we can live a very non-violent, peaceful life we can lead. And like during crops also when they are harvested, so that is also a harvest season is there. If during harvest season, if you are not like harvesting the crop, then automatically all the crops will rot. All the grains, all this rice, wheat, all will rot. Because that is the time for harvesting. So that is how these plant products are created. So it is not equivalent like when we are using an animal product or when we are using any plant product. So both are not equal, both are not the same. So this understanding we should be having. But the most important thing is that whatever we are eating, first of all, whatever food stuff we talk about, first of all, it should be offered to Krishna. That is the most important thing. Whether we are vegetarian is not important, because Prabhupada one place said that even pigeons are vegetarian. So it does not make pigeon a great person. So even it's not just important to be a vegetarian. Most important thing is that we should be first offering whatever we are eating to the Supreme Lord. Else we are eating only sins. That is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So now when we reflect, so all this knowledge from where we are getting from Prabhupada's book, because Prabhupada mercifully has given all this knowledge in the book, and by reading Prabhupada's book, we are getting this knowledge. So we are fortunate, or at least theoretically we are fortunate, because at least theoretically we know that what is the purpose of life, what is the goal of life, who am I, who is God, what is our relationship with God, how we should be developing our relationship with God. So that understanding we are having with Prabhupada's mercy, Prabhupada's books are there. So this book marathon, so we can also share this mercy with other people, because Prabhupada's books are extremely, you can say, it's a divine, not just like any material book, it's a divine book. So there is one pastime also. So there was one devotee, Bhagavat Prabhu. He was there and Tamalkar Goswami Maharaj was there. So both were sitting together. So Prabhupada asked them to recite some verse. So Bhagavat Prabhu writes that he thought that Tamalkar Goswami Maharaj is going to recite that verse. And then Tamalkar Goswami Maharaj said that Bhagavat Prabhu will recite the verse. But both of them were not able to recite the verse because they were not knowing the verse. So at that time, Prabhupada said that to both of them that you are not reading my books. Prabhupada's question was. And then Prabhupada said, even I read my books. That's what Prabhupada said. And then Prabhupada was saying that these are not my books, because whatever I am writing are not my words. It is Krishna who is dictating this verse to me, and I am writing those books. That is what Prabhupada said. And Prabhupada said that when I read my books also, then also I get new realization, new understanding I get. That is why Prabhupada was reading his own book. And one another, like in lecture I was also hearing in one lecture. So one devotee was saying, and Amog Lila Prabhu was saying that one reporter asked Prabhupada about his books. So someone asked reporter to Prabhupada that how you are writing this book. Then one of the devotee who was with Prabhupada, he thought that someone is asking Prabhupada this question. So let me answer. So he said that Prabhupada writes this book because Prabhupada gets inspiration from Krishna. That is why he's writing that book. Then Prabhupada immediately said, no, Krishna is directly dictating me and then I am writing this book. So this Prabhupada corrected him at that time. So in Back to Godhead magazines, one devotee was sharing her realization. So there it is mentioned that one statement is mentioned that it is said that if someone just holds one of the Prabhupada's book which talks about Krishna and starts appreciating it, then it is guaranteed. It's not that one has to read. If just one holds Prabhupada's books, appreciates it, it is guaranteed that next life he will get a human body or a higher birth. तो कुछ करना नहीं है, हम जिस बुक डिस्कशन में जाते हैं, if someone is able to hold that book, if they are able to appreciate that book, then उसका human life confirm हो जाता है and they can go back to, they can get higher birth. And what I can say that what extraordinary fortune that person will be having when they will start reading that book and start applying that knowledge in that person's own life. So, and Gita also in 68th verse, Krishna says that one who shares this knowledge of Gita, this Bhagavad Gita, this transcendental knowledge, so that devotee, that person becomes very, very dear to Lord Krishna. So this book marathon, it is a great opportunity for all of us to become dear to Krishna. And very great opportunity. Prabhupada's desire was that, Mahaprabhu's desire was that everyone should become a devotee of Krishna. So we can try our best, whatever, I am saying it, I am also not qualified, not doing enough. So Nimayanand Prabhu, Harshit Prabhu is trying their best. We can try to help them so that these books we can share with more and more people, especially in Kolkata, Prabhupada's birthplace. Because here we have the conclusive knowledge, complete understanding, so that we can completely understand our real purpose, real goal of life. So that was the first part we discussed, that getting the conclusive knowledge of the Vedas. Now, the knowledge is very wonderful, very great. So, but knowledge also has to be realized. So that is why the second statement in the translation is mentioned that having realized the ultimate purpose of such knowledge in practice. The word mentioned is practice, because practical implementation of the knowledge is very important. Like knowing that chanting is important is very nice, but we should also chant it. Chant the holy name of Krishna. That is also equally important. So it is said that the taste of the pudding lies in tasting it. Just by seeing it, we cannot release the taste. We have to taste it. Similarly, if we have to understand the greatness of spiritual life, that is why Prabhupada uses this bhakti as devotional service. That we have to engage constantly in the service of the Supreme Lord. So we have the holy name. This month we have the opportunity to distribute the books. And if we study Mahaprabhu's pastime also, like for example, Gundicha Marjan, Mahaprabhu personally teaching all of us that how we should be always engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord. And we are very fortunate that we have Shri Nitai Gauranga deities here. So they are not deity, they are the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord has appeared in front of us. So we have great opportunity serving the Arch Vigraha. So in Padma Puran it is mentioned that this Arch Vigraha is not made of stone or some like wood or some material elements. It is Padma Puran, it is mentioned that if anyone who considers that this Archa form of the Lord, the deity form of the Lord is made of wood or stone, that person is a resident of hell. That is what is mentioned in Padma Puran. So anyone thinks that it is made of some material elements. So this deity form, the Lord has appeared and Lord is giving us an opportunity so that we can constantly engage ourselves in serving the Lord. So there is one very beautiful purport of Prabhupada. I will read it. It is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 20.217, where Prabhupada talks about this deity, that how the deity has mercifully appeared and giving us a great opportunity to serve the Lord. So Prabhupada writes there, although the Archa Murti, the worshipable deity form of the Lord, appears to be made of material elements, it is as good as the spiritual forms found in the spiritual Vaikuntha Lokas. So although made of stone, made of wood, made of paint, so they are as good as the form of the Lord present in the Vaikuntha Loka. Then Prabhupada further writes, the deity in the temple, however, is visible to the material eyes of the devotee. It is not possible for one in material conditioned life, for people like us, to see the spiritual form of the Lord, because our vision is material. And because of that, to bestow causeless mercy upon us, the Lord appears as the Archa Murti so that we can see him. It is forbidden to consider the Archa Murti to be made of stone or wood. So since we have material vision, that is why we are not able to perceive the Lord completely in spiritual form. But Prabhupada is clearly explaining that they are the Supreme Lord who are coming from the Vaikuntha Loka. They are exactly the same form which is there in the Vaikuntha Loka. And that is why there are so many pastimes of the Lord, that the deity form of the Lord, so many pastimes. We have this Kheer Chor Gopinath pastime in Remuna, that the Lord stole the kheer. That pastime we read, that happened hundreds of years back. But here also in Mayapur, we have heard so many pastimes of Lord Narsimdev. So Pankaj Angri Prabhu has given one lecture also, big lecture also, that about Lord Narsimdev's pastime. There is book also. So Lord Narsimdev also here Mayapur, Radha Madhav, they are also performing pastime. So in Kartik Yatra only, Baldev Prabhu was saying that someone asked Rajan Nivas Prabhu that Pankaj Angri Prabhu, there is a book on this Lord Narsimdev's pastime. So he asked, some devotee asked his Grace Nivas Prabhu that why don't you share the pastimes of Radha Madhav? So Prabhuji said that Radha Madhav has asked me not to do so. So Prabhuji was saying that this is another pastime of Radha Madhav, that he is asking Prabhuji Janivas Prabhu not to share his pastime. So I was hearing one pastime of Lord Narsim Dev, which Pankaj Angri Prabhu was sharing. So many pastimes are there. So one of the pastime is of one devotee. So it is a pastime because we have pastime here in India. So there is pastime of Taiwan. So mother and daughter was there. So they were devotee of Lord Narsim Dev. They were devotee. But the husband, so husband was not the devotee. But unfortunately that husband, he got some disease, I think cancer, some disease he got, very terminal disease. So he was admitted to hospital. So when he was in hospitals, he was falling into coma again and again. Sometimes he used to come into conscious, sometimes he used to become conscious, sometimes he used to fall into coma. So the mother and daughter, so what they did, so they brought a big picture, nice picture of Lord Narsimdev, and they put in that room. And along with that, Prabhupada's Hare Krishna Mahamantra tape was also playing constantly. And that person, so he was again and again falling into coma, coming out of coma, and his eyes used to be always closed. It was difficult to understand that whether he is conscious or not conscious. But Prabhuji was saying that somehow or the other he was wearing a ring in his finger. So he was moving his finger. So his ring was touching. So by that, his mother, daughter or nurses who were treating them, they could understand that he is sometimes becoming conscious also. So that person, so his eyes was closed. So at one time, he calls his wife and daughter, and he says that who is that man who has entered in the room. So his mother and daughter was confused because other than these two persons, they were ladies and no one was there in the room. They said, no, there is one person in the room. They asked that who is that person? He says that I am seeing a very tall person is there, and his face is made of lion, looks like a lion. So this person is there who has come in the room. And his mother and daughter said that because they could not see. So they understood that he is talking about Lord Narsimdev, that yes, this person is there. So they asked them that what is he saying to you? So he says that this person is telling me to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So they asked that where is that person? No. So they said that no, the person said that he has now left. So that Lord came, Lord Narsimdev appeared, and he told him to chant Mahamantra. And then this person leaves his body. So this mother and daughter shares. And later on, the nurse also, she shares that when this person's body was burned, because outside India, person it's cremated in a different way, the body are burned in this electric fire something. So he said that generally we have this white and black smoke or ashes comes out, but Prabhuji was saying that his ashes came out, it had some different color, some extraordinary color was there. And later on, the nurse was also sharing that when we enter that room, so we get a different vibe from that room. So we do not keep any patient there. We are just going, if you want to calm our mind, we want some kind of spiritual experience. So we are using that room for that purpose only. And then the nurse was asking that you can tell me about the Mahamantra which you are chanting. Then the mother and daughter shared that Mahamantra. That Lord Narsimdev is Mayapur and he went to Taiwan. So there he went. I don't know Taiwan, but not in Mayapur, some other place. So Lord Nrsimhadev went, and there he delivered a person, gave him Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I was just thinking on this, that one is the deity form and the Lord is there, and that lamination also of Lord is so powerful. It's not like some lamination, some picture is there, someone is clicking a picture. So that also, like when we have that lamination, we should also treat them as the Supreme Lord only. We should have so much reverence, so much love, so much respect for them. So this is how the Supreme Lord is performing so many pastimes. So from this, we can very easily understand that the deity form which appears in front of us, so they are not the ordinary deity. So Krishna is, and all the Vaishnava Acharyas, so they are giving us an opportunity by which we can engage ourselves constantly in serving the Supreme Lord. And by doing so, we can purify ourselves. And that is also a practice by which we can understand that how, when we get an opportunity to return back to the spiritual world, then how we should be constantly engaged in serving the Supreme Lord. Because this is what we are learning here. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, we read that you might be knowing about that Bengali poet, that he wanted to share something with Lord Chaitanya. And then he said something about Lord Jagannath, that his body is material, something. And Sarup Damodar became very angry. And then he said that, no, this sometime we'll discuss it is in very detail. So he said that Lord Jagannath form, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's form, so they are spiritual form, they are not like material form. Whatever seeing the deity form of the Lord. So it is said that the opportunity which we get to serve, so the deity what we see in the temple are not ordinary deity, they are not made of wood or stone. That is the first point which is mentioned in the scripture. Second point is said that the spiritual master, so they are not like ordinary living beings, the spiritual master. We should not consider them as ordinary living beings. Similarly, the devotees of the Lord, the Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas are also, we should not differentiate them or categorize them based on some caste or creed that he is like a Brahmana, he is a Kshatriya, he is a Indian, non-Indian, he is a male, she is a female. So based on that, we should not also differentiate among the Vaishnavas. Other point it is mentioned that Ganges water or the Charnamrit, which early morning we drink or we honor. So these are not ordinary water. Similarly, the holy name of the Lord which we chant, these are not ordinary Mahamantra, these are the spiritual name of the Lord, spiritual vibration. So these all things have appeared in this world to give us an opportunity to serve them and get ourselves purified. This is how we can practically, completely purify ourselves. And what will happen that when we understand the conclusive knowledge, when we apply that practical knowledge in our life, then slowly our heart will get purified. Our consciousness will become Krishna conscious. And the third point, it is mentioned that then a person will be able to perceive oneself, will be able to understand that who am I? That understanding we are going to get. So right now our obsession is that we are not we are obsessed with this material body. Correct? Our obsession is. But once we start practically applying the spiritual knowledge in our life, then slowly we will start understanding that we are not this material body, but we are spirit soul, and as spirit soul, we are eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And the purpose of our life is to develop that relationship with the Supreme Lord. And once that understanding, it somehow or the other, with that understanding, our soul gets illuminated, then automatically all the miseries from our life will completely vanish. Then a person will become completely fearless. Nothing in this world can make a person fearful. So in one of the lectures, Radhesam Prabhu, he was sharing practical example. He was sharing that one couple from, I think, from Bangalore. So one day they visited a doctor, and they came to the Mataji. Unfortunately, when the doctor examined, they were little elderly, maybe 60 plus they may be. So Mataji came to know, and the doctor said that she is suffering from cancer. Not like stage 1, stage 2, but almost like the last stage of cancer. And the doctor said that you have just maybe couple of weeks to survive, not more than that. And when the husband heard, because first the knowledge, first this information was given to the husband. So husband was very much shocked. He thought that how am I going to convey this knowledge to my wife? But when the wife heard, so she was jubilant. Why she was happy? She was saying that just 2 weeks is remaining, and after 2 weeks I am going to meet Krishna. in the spiritual world. So that was the consciousness of that Mataji. She did not become fearful, she did not become morose that now I am going to die, but she became so blissful that now I am going to get an opportunity to associate with Krishna eternally. So instead of consoling Mataji, the husband was being consoled by Mataji, that should not worry now. And her child, so he was outside India, outside US, and somehow or the other he had some visa issue, something like that, or some job issues. He was not able to come. But mother was, she was sometimes like parents really in anxiety, start telling that I want to see children and all. But she was saying, do not have to worry, you take care of yourself, I am fine here, there's no problem. And somehow or the other, so the child came, he came after 3 weeks, and for 3 weeks Mataji survived. After 3 weeks he left her body, but in a very Krishna conscious, blissful like mindset, she left this material world. So that is what happens, that a person develops a Krishna conscious mindset. Heart becomes completely free from all these misgivings, all attachment which we have in this material world. And then it is mentioned that a person's mind becomes completely satisfied. Completely satisfied person becomes, and everyone, because that person is free from all miseries, free from all envy, all jealousy, everything. So he becomes very, very dear to all living beings, dear to demigods. Demigods are also very happy that this person has become a devotee of Krishna, and that person becomes free from all the miseries. This is what Krishna is beautifully teaching to Uddhava, and through Uddhava it is teaching to unfortunate souls like me, especially me, that what great fortune awaits us. The only requirement is that we should completely take shelter of holy name, shelter of Krishna. So this is what I understood, tried to share. If I committed any mistake, please forgive me. We can conclude now. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की, शिला प्रभुपाद की, हरे कृष्णा. Thank you very much. शिला प्रभुपाद.